Have you ever raced around hunting for a hidden treasure or searched for clues that led you to a stash of loot? Now, imagine a treasure hunt where your clues come from space and your fellow seekers live all over the world. That's the game of geocaching. To understand geocaching, first you have to know about the Global Positioning System, or GPS. GPS is a system of satellites that circle the Earth twice a day, transmitting information back to Earth. Special devices called GPS units can gather this information and use it to determine each satellite's position in space. Then, they can figure out their own position on Earth. A GPS unit tells you its precise latitude and longitude at the moment. Latitude and longitude are positions on Earth based on two sets of imaginary lines that circle the world. Lines of latitude run east-west around the world, like the equator. Lines of longitude run north-south, like the prime meridian. The prime meridian is an imaginary line from the North Pole to the South Pole. Every place on Earth can be described in terms of its latitude and longitude. The latitude of a place is how far it is above or below the equator, measured in degrees. The longitude is the number of degrees to the east or west of the prime meridian. You can learn the coordinates of the spot in which you are right now. You just need a GPS unit. As long as it has a clear view of the sky, the device rarely malfunctions, and you can count on it to tell you exactly where you are. The game of geocaching developed as soon as GPS units became available for people to buy. Now, anyone with the device and access to the internet can be a geocacher. Here's how the game works. A geocacher puts together a cache, a collection of little treasures inside a waterproof container. The cache might consist of small items such as coins, toys, CDs, books, gift certificates, or photographs. The cache must also include a logbook and a pen or pencil. Then the geocacher hides the cache somewhere. He or she uses a GPS unit to pinpoint the latitude and longitude of that location and post the coordinates on the internet. Other geocachers look up the coordinates on the internet. Then they try to find the cache with their own GPS units. When you find a cache, you write your name, the date, and the time in the logbook. You may remove an item from the cache, but you must replace it with an item of equal or greater value. Then you post a note on the internet about finding the cache. Don't put your cache on private property or in a national park without permission. Don't put your cache in an area that shouldn't be disturbed, such as a special historic site or an environmentally protected area. Don't hide food unless you want animals to find the cache first. Don't make your cache too easy or too hard to find. If it isn't hidden carefully enough, people who aren't geocachers may come across the container and remove it. But if it's hidden too well, other geocachers will give up trying to find it. There are several variations of the game to make it more interesting. For instance, there's the offset cache. In this variation, coordinates are given for a monument or a plaque where further instructions are posted. The multi-cache is a variation in which coordinates are given at one cache for another cache, and so on. Then there's the moving cache. In this version, the person who finds a cache puts new items inside and then transfers the whole thing to another location. Currently, more than 200,000 geocaches lie hidden around the world, waiting to be discovered. They can be found on every continent, including Antarctica. Some of them are in unbelievable and dangerous places. There are caches submerged deep in the ocean. There are others on mountain peaks. There are caches 50 feet high in a tree. Many require special equipment, skills, and knowledge to find. This is when geocaching moves from a game to a sport. Geocaches are also beginning to appear in local communities and schools. Some teachers use them as part of their field trips. Students locate geocaches while they learn about the history and environment of each of the caches. Community service projects, such as hiking trail maintenance projects, also use caches to make cleanup interesting and fun. The United States has the most caches of any country. The following chart shows the 10 states with the most caches as of October 2005. It also shows approximately how many caches could be found within each area of 10,000 square miles. Geocaching is a game of cooperation and communication. It allows people of all ages and geographic locations to connect with each other, and it appeals to many different interests and abilities. For instance, if you like solving mysteries or puzzles, you might enjoy geocaching. If you like computers, math, or the science of navigation, geocaching includes all these things. If you enjoy travel and adventure, geocaching can take you all over the world, but you can also enjoy it right in your own neighborhood. The game of geocaching has something for everyone.